For those of you that don't like pork tamales, today I'm making tamales verdes de pollo. Chicken tamales are so delicious and you're gonna love this recipe. Cheers! We're gonna start off by cooking our chicken, but first I'm gonna be blending 8 garlic cloves in 1 cup of water. And we're gonna add this mixture when we cook the chicken. This is what my mom taught me so that your chicken flavor is not too strong. But if you don't mind that, you can always just skip this step. I've set my pot on high heat with 6 quarts of water. As you can see, the water is now boiling. I'm gonna add the mixture. Now I'm gonna add in the chicken. I'm using a total of 6 pounds, and it's a mixture of breast with bone and thighs. And I'm also gonna add 1 whole onion, 1 garlic head, 2 bay leaves, 1 teaspoon of whole black pepper, and 1 tablespoon of salt. Mix and wait for it to boil. It's been 5 minutes. If you see any foam forming on top, just remove it. Then we lower the heat to medium, cover it up, and cook for 35 minutes. While the chicken is cooking, we're gonna fire roast 3 Anaheim peppers and 2 poblano peppers. Once roasted on all sides, we're gonna add them to a bag so they can sweat. Now we're gonna work on our salsa. I've set my pot with some water and I'm gonna boil 12 tomatillos along with 1 jalapeño and 2 serrano peppers. We boil for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. They're ready. I'm gonna transfer them into the blender. And I'm also gonna add 3 garlic cloves, half of a small white onion, the poblano peppers, and the Anaheim peppers. I've already removed all the seeds. Some cilantro. Here I have half a teaspoon of cumin, half a teaspoon of oregano, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. 1 tablespoon of chicken bouillon, and last half a cup of the water from where we boiled the tomatillos. Now we blend. It's been an hour. Our chicken is now ready. I'm gonna remove it from the pot, wait for it to cool down so we can shred it. I like to shred the chicken with the fork because it's still warm. That way I don't burn my fingers. Make sure that you remove all the little bones because there's some little bones in there. And I also like to remove all the skin. Now let's start preparing our chicken filling. I set my pan on medium heat and I'm gonna add some oil. Oil is now hot. I'm gonna add half of a small white onion and we fry for about a minute. Next we add the chicken, mix. After about a minute, we add in the salsa. Once it's all mixed, this is the perfect time to check if you need more chicken bouillon. Mine needs a little bit more, so I'll be adding 2 additional teaspoons. Mix it in. Lower the heat. Let it simmer for about 3 minutes, then we turn it off and set it to the side. Now here comes the fun part, making the masa. For my masa, I'm gonna be using my stand mixer, but you can use a handheld mixer or just mix it by hand. I'm gonna start by adding 1.5 cups of lard. We set the speed to medium and beat for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm gonna decrease the speed to the lowest setting and add 5 teaspoons of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. Now we can start adding the masa. I'm gonna be using a total of 6 cups of masa, 4 cups of broth, and 2 to 3 cups of water. We're gonna be adding them slowly, one by one. We add 1 cup of masa and 1 cup of broth slowly. So we add masa, broth. Once we run out of the broth, we start adding the warm water. So we add 1 cup of masa and 1 cup of water. Remember, your water and your broth need to be warm. Once all the ingredients are in, we're gonna increase the speed to medium and mix for 15 minutes. It's actually been 20 minutes. Our masa is ready. This is how it should look. Now we're gonna cover it up, set it to the side, and let it rest for 15 minutes. I've left my husks soaking in water for a couple of hours. And now all I'm doing is patting them dry to get rid of any excess water. And once they're ready, we can start making our tamales. We're gonna be adding the masa on the soft side, not on the rough side, okay? We add the masa and we spread it. I don't like tamales that have thick masa, so I just spread a thin layer. And then we add the chicken. You can add as much as you'd like. Once we add the chicken, we fold one side and then the other one. And then the tail, we just flip it up. Just like that. And we keep doing the same for the rest of the tamales. We add the masa, the chicken, and we close it. Just like that. With this amount of chicken, made about 30 tamales. Okay, now we're gonna add the tamales into the pot, but first I'm gonna put in the steamer. So then we add water just below the steamer because we don't want the water to cover the steamer. So that should be enough. Next we add some of the remaining husks, and we're adding these so that it can hold the tamales and they don't fall into the water. We place them and make sure they're standing. And then we do it all around the pot. Once they're all in, we add more husk on top. Place them just like that. Last, I'm gonna place a rag, close it up, and this is just so that the steam doesn't come out. We set the heat to medium and cook for 2 hours. It's been 2 hours and our tamales are now ready. Okay, let me just grab some. This part, be very careful because they're extremely hot. After we let them cool off for a couple of minutes, we're gonna open one up and they should slide off the husk. These look perfect. Okay, let's open another one so we can try them. And like I said, when your tamales are ready, they need to fall off the husk, just like that. They smell delicious, guys, if you could smell it. Here I have some salsita verde. All right, guys, moment of truth. I've been waiting for this moment because I'm so hungry. So, cheers. They're so delicious. These are as good as pork tamales. If you guys don't like pork tamales, try these. You won't be disappointed. And with this salsita, they're even better. You can also add crema mexicana, queso, but for me, this is just perfect. And there you have it, delicious tamales verdes de pollo.